Hello everybody, what is up? What is up? My name is Simply Velka, and in this video I'm just doing our weekly Terrascope for the week of what we can expect, what messages the otherworldly have for us through tarot. How have you guys been doing? How was last week? When I tell y'all, last week was a mess for me, y'all. It's interesting because I think about our last weekly Terrascope, and it was talking about things coming into fruition, and I kind of thought about it, and I think I still believe that the message itself was really talking about getting everything in order. So you're making space essentially for whatever it is that everyone's been working on. So I feel like there was just like still like that adjustment period, but it was like the affirmation that was like, no, these adjustments are meant for, like, these are planned, like this was to be expected, sort of thing, right? And so yeah, let's continue on to this week on this Terrascope and what messages they have. I don't know what card I want to start with first. So I think what I want to start with actually is the chimpanzee card, guys. So the chimpanzee card says, use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problem or get answers to your questions. So whenever this card comes up, and just the general message this relays, at least to me, this is speaking to me on that some of you guys have been doubting yourselves, because the chimpanzee card is kind of just like you know this, you know what you need to do, you know what you need to fix, maybe like you know what routines you need to shift in yourself. I feel like with the rest of these cards is big on like routines and having that kind of adjustment. Yeah, so very maybe some, like, this is, some of y'all know, like a situation that you need to take care of with a younger woman, because this is a card we pulled, dealings with a younger woman. So maybe like you have to be honest with yourself, maybe with a connection that with a younger woman in your, or just a woman in your life in general, right? But for how the chimpanzee is just kind of like, you know what you need to do to make the change, like you know what changes you need to make in your life to really welcome in this success, this abundance coming into your life, the good things, you know. I feel like for a lot of people 2020 has been just like especially rocky, and I feel like it's partially because people, like, there's, I don't want to say people, but like more work needs to be done for this major shift to really happen, because you know, like any other year before, I mean, like when you think of 2020, I feel like this is just such a impactful year for a lot of people, and there's definitely something just major. I know everyone, like, it's such a cliche to go, it's just like, oh, there's just some shifts going on, but like I feel like this is just like something huge, I don't know. And so like you have to adjust more than normal, make more space than what you normally would do for like your new year. I hope this makes sense to somebody. At least this is what I tell myself anyways, right? To like keep myself going every single day, because Lord knows this year has just been gosh, let me not. So yeah, that's what the chimpanzee card says. And then we have the new moon in Sagittarius, which is saying like your luck is on your side. And this is interesting because I feel like the dynamic for the rest of the cards for everybody, it's interesting because you have luck is on your side, and then we have the Knight of Water, which is talking about your wishes coming true, concerns fading away, a love life perhaps for some. So maybe for those that are looking for love, put yourself out there a little bit more soon. You know, and it makes sense, right? You're doing a lot of like self-work during this time, a lot of self-reflection and just improvements in your life, so you can, I mean, for some people this abundance coming in, these good things coming in, these shifts coming in are for people to welcome in, and maybe like a soulmate or someone just like playing a big role in your life, so you need to be able to match them at their level. You know, you don't want to start any kind of relationship or any connection with somebody on a damaged level or like an overwhelmed level. You want to come with like as clean of a slate as possible without having to like clean up a bunch of messes during the whole like process of during the whole process of everything. So yeah, and then so how these cards are lining up, it's interesting because we have the Judgment card, and I feel like this is how the Nine of Water and the new moon in Sagittarius, luck is on your side, is pairing up. Because when you think about it, the Judgment card, this is kind of like the representation of the Fool. The Fool is someone right, we all know what the Fool card represents. And so for the Judgment card, I feel like this is like an elevated version of that card where um, usually when this card comes up, this is like for people who start like hearing their purpose. So perhaps you know your purpose. Some of you guys, some people in this week, I feel like you know your purpose. You know what you need to do to attain or to follow through with like your like what fulfills you. It's just a matter of like taking that leap of faith and like doing it, or taking the initiative and building this new routine with yourself, and and to be able to start answering that purpose, that calling that you're having. And then we have like the Wheel of Fortune card. This is like kind of just like an enhancing card as well, where it's just like this is like not only is this like a paired with luck is on your side, like two very affirming cards for saying just like the wheels are in your favor, and this is such a blessing to have, because you want to be told that luck is on your side and wheels are in your favor for like the divine, like for divine purpose, for what this subject is talking about, of just like answering your calling into taking action and breaking routines that serve this higher purpose. Right? Like we know what we need to do with the chimpanzee. We know the actions that we need to take. It may be uncomfortable. You may have to like suck it up and just like take that extra hour and incorporate this new part of your life that like maybe you have to get up a little bit earlier, something like that. This is the time to really start, all your actions, all your energy should be directed towards answering this purpose that that has been talking about with your Judgment card, right? You know what you need to do. This calling, what's calling to you. It's just a matter of answering it. And I feel like for some people that are struggling with this, it makes sense, because I can, like, this reading applies to me as well, right? I can relate to it on a level, because it's like we have, you think of like the past couple Taroscope readings that we've had, and it's been a rough one, just being real. And we have the Nine of Fire saying that says like don't give up, protect that which you've created. So protect, like because you're going through like this hard, like rough patch, like you may have like neglected some of your chores, you may have started like letting things deter and wane out and like fade away, like that's things that and habits that like were actively working towards your goal. You may have to like reignite that fire and really get things moving again, right? And it's just like dust yourself off. Like, yeah, it's been a really bumpy road, y'all. This 2020 has been a real bumpy road for all of us, right? But we can't lose sight of that. We can't like get distracted and let these events just like really eat us down. Things always will work out. You just have to be able to manage through it and just keep on having faith of like walking forward and like trusting that you're going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Just because you can't see it right now doesn't mean it's not there. You just have to continue to keep going forward, because if you just stop dead in your tracks and you just like sit down and start feeling sorry for yourself, then it's just like you're not making any progress. And this is not me saying that you shouldn't feel sorry for yourself, and I feel like it is important to acknowledge like the journey that we've all been on, and just the cleansing period, and just the brutal time that it's been, like if we're calling a spade, right? But it's good to acknowledge it, but just keep on trucking and be like, okay, yeah, that happened, but I'm gonna still keep going. You don't let these things defeat you. Don't let these things overwhelm you and to go back into old patterns, old habits, because those old patterns, those old habits are not serving you anymore, right? We have like the Restore and Replenish card as well, and this card is just talking about taking this time to even take like a day or two of just like putting things in perspective and doing perhaps like a couple of days of like self-care, you guys, right? And just to really dedicate 2 days rather than having like 2 days or even just 1 day of where like you partially go back to old habits that you view as self-care, and but you still try to get work done in that same time. It kind of defeats the purpose, right? It's kind of like having a spa day and then bringing paperwork to the spa. It defeats the purpose entirely of having the spa day, no matter which way you look at it. So it's better to have like your one dedicated spa day, and having that spa day be productive mentally, putting things in perspective and thinking of a game plan so that you can welcome this abundance into your life. You can like start things fresh, just just because you may be getting this message on the Monday that it's uploaded doesn't mean that you have to wait for, like, I know a lot of people will use the excuse like, oh, well, maybe on like the first of the month or like the first of the week on Monday, that's when I'll start my new things. Like, no, there's no difference in that. It's just an excuse to delay what it is that you need to shift and change to welcome in this abundance. It's really just a matter of when are you going to be ready to decide to start fulfilling your purpose. We have the King of Cups, and King of Cups, no matter what, like, you look at this card and he's so big on just being able to, like, staying serene and being confident in his own abundance, being confident that his cup is always going to be filled. And yeah, this is just really big on, like, really, this whole entire reading is just big on just, like, pushing yourself and, like, pushing yourself to the level that you know that you guys are capable of, and take the steps of doing this, right? Like, this is like the most operative time to really push towards your goals right now. Luck is on your side. Things are coming into fruition. This is such a, like, all the stars are aligned basically, right, for these things to come your way. It's just a matter of, like, pushing through and continuing on, even if things get a little bit rough. Just get out of your head a little bit, I feel like, right? Don't overthink things. Get out of your head, listen to your instinct and listen to your gut feeling and go off of that. I feel like that will really assist a lot of people during this week to get to where they really need to get to. We have the Tiger's Eye. This is Tiger's Eye. Makes so much sense to have Tiger's Eye be the stone for the week that everyone can connect to. I've recently been drawn to, like, wearing some of my Tiger Eye stuff. Like, y'all already know I can really talk about Tiger's Eye, like, all day long. But Tiger's Eye is just a very good protective stone. Tiger's Eye is very, I still kind of associate Tiger's Eye just with, like, abundance and stuff like that. So I would say get, like, a Tiger's Eye for wherever your workplace is. Maybe when you go to work, you have, like, a little Tiger's Eye stone with you. So, or anytime you're thinking of doing something creative, just have Tiger's Eye on you, and that'll help promote that. And then also, Tiger's Eye is good it's a very protective energy, protective stone. And I also view Tiger's Eye as something as a grounding and help giving you that perspective. So yeah, that's the cards that I have for this week for us. So, a very interesting message, and I love it's just kind of like doing these tarot scopes consecutively. It's kind of just been like unfolding like a story for this entire year. I don't know, it's very interesting. I love doing these so much. But yeah, let's just see what Miss Aretha Franklin has for us today. What quote for the week? Okay, this makes sense. Okay, so we have, this card says, I surrender to a power greater than me. And it makes so much sense for the restore and replenishment part that we have here, because the restore and replenishment, like, this is kind of like, this card talks about just going out in nature and to really just, like, take that time to really, like, rejuvenate, restore and replenish, right? You think of restore and replenish, it's completely different than having, like, a self-care day. It's like, no, you're restoring and replenishing. That's like 10 times the effort, like, it's 10 times more potent. I feel like when you say restore and replenish, I feel like it's a more full embodied thing. Like, you're starting from scratch and really, like, uplifting everything rather than and having it be more permanent, right? And for the quote, I surrender to a power that's greater than me, it's kind of just saying, it's just like you're willing to trust in the process. You're willing to realize that there's going to be, like, your guides, your path is taking you to the light at the end of this very dark tunnel, right? Just really have faith in that. If you stop and sit on the ground for a while, it's just not serving you any purpose. You need to be able to just surrender to the divine, surrender to the power that's greater than you. So whether that's your spirit guides, your ancestors, your guardian angels, whoever it is, right? Trust in that they are guiding you along where you need to be, and trusting that they're taking you to the light at the end of the tunnel. Don't feel defeated right now, guys. Like, things are always working out in our favor. We just have to be willing to trust that they are. Even if, just because you have to remember that we're not seeing the bigger picture, like everything, like these otherworldly beings are, like these guardian angels are, our spirit guides are. We're not seeing the bigger picture. We're the ones that are in, like, the trenches and the mud of it, having to go through it. and just trusting that from their direction from above that they're taking us where we need to go. And we all know that, right? The chimpanzee, chimpanzee's been brought up the entire reading. Like, we know this is all part of the plan. So it's okay to feel sorry for yourself, but limit how long you feel sorry for yourself. Take one day to restore and rejuvenate. Take one day of really allowing yourself to feel your emotions, and then keep on moving. That's really what this reading's about. So yeah, thank you guys so much for allowing me to do this reading for you guys. If this reading at all resonated with you, let me know. Please let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Let me know which card in the comments, which card called out to you the most. I think personally for me, I kind of want to say the Tiger's Eye is what called out to me the most this week in all the cards, because I really just in like the last day or two started gravitating towards my Tiger's Eye. But yeah, if you guys love this reading as well, I do also offer personal readings, but I leave everything down in the description box below. But yeah, I love you guys so much, and I do have some more videos planned for the rest of this week, so stay tuned. Bye guys.